Hey guys, Paul Goldsmith, PJG Outdoors, doing a little bit of swapping around and changing around with my two AR-15s. This is a AR-15 and a 300 blackout, and this is an AR-15 upper and a 5.56. Same barrel length, little differences here and there, but both great guns, and I like them a lot. There's things I didn't like about them, both of them. So I'm making a few changes. I got 3 lowers. This is actually the lower that was on the 300 blackout when I got it, and it's an American Tactical. Really don't like this lower. I don't know if some of you guys out there have had these or not. I don't know, but I don't like this lower at all. So I'm taking it off of this rifle, and I built this FMK. It's just like this lower. I've started on this one, but I haven't finished it yet. But I've seen a lot of good reviews and bad reviews on these, so we'll just have to see. But I picked these up at a good price and wanted to try them out. So I've got this one built, so I'm just going to put it on here and try it out on the 300 blackout. Now the only problem I have with this is a PSA build, and I love this rifle. It's solid, shoots good. Yeah, it's a great rifle, and I love the slower. The only thing that this is a PSA lower. The only thing I don't like about it is I went on the build. I went with a commercial buffer tube, and it's hard to find different things for that commercial. That with the mil spec is you can find more MOE products to go on butt stocks and stuff. So I'm going to take the buffer tube off of this American Tactical and this hand rest, what you call it, the handle. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to swap it over to this lower and reuse this lower. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do, and that should have me 2 rifles that I really like. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is just very easily go ahead and assemble this on here. That's all I got. That's all there is to it. I want to make sure it is unloaded, and it is. It's unloaded, and easy enough, no problem there. I did purchase a new buttstock for it. This Magpul carbine stock, MOE, and got as close as I could to that. Okay, and to put that on, all you got to do is slide it up on there, and then I use a screwdriver. You probably could pull it with your fingers, but just push that. Let me try it with my fingers. Push that on down. Yep, there we go. And then you're set. So that's pretty much all I wanted to do to this one. I think it looks pretty good. I have of course, the 30-round clips for it, and they're black, which will look good, I think. And then for hunting, I got a 10-round clip that, once it fits in there, makes it very easy to tote and in the woods, and to handle in a box stand or whatever. So that's my rig there. All right, so that was quick and easy. So get that one out of the way. 300 blackouts ready to go. We'll do a video here shortly and shoot it and see how that lower handles that 300 blackout, which I think it'll do fine. Okay, now we're going to take this off. Come on. Now to do that, you pull the bottom plate off, and then you got to have an Allen wrench that's long enough to reach up in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a nut in there, a bolt. You got to get that out, and I'll show you something right here. Very important when you're changing these grips out. fairly long bolt, getting to the end. Is it complete? Yep. Pull out this. I think it is loose. Okay. When you take this off, you see that spring right there? You got to maintain that spring. You don't want to lose that in the process. It goes up into that little slot right there. And it goes up into that slot. And if you look where that's at, that is, can you see that piece moving up and down? I don't know if you can see it good enough or not, but that's your safety. And this holds pressure against that little, and that's what makes your safety stay in the two positions, safe and all. So you don't want to lose that when you take that out. And then you got this little part that actually fits into the safety, and you can pull that safety on out then. Okay, and that way you don't have parts hanging around that might fall out and you not know where they're at. I'd rather have them out and know where they're at than you know, have to go looking for them. We're going to go ahead and put this handle on here. Take this little block off. Okay, now ease it out real slow. Get my thumb on that spring. There we go. Now I'm just going to leave everything just like it is. Slide that spring right up into the hole on the side of that. I'll drop it right back in there. I can check it right here and make sure it's good to go. And it is. Then we can not taking that spring out helps you. You know, if you can just hold it with your thumb like that, then you can get lined up, keep it lined up, and have it in place, and you're a lot better off than you would be if you were trying to okay, I have got a problem. Okay. We have really got a lot of rain this week. It has been a rainy, wet week. I don't know about where you guys are, but here in upstate South Carolina, it has rained all week long, and that really hurts our work. Really hurts our work. It is not a, it's not a good thing. Our productivity was not good at all this week. But I mean, you know, you have weeks like that. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to happen. And but we've had a wet week. In fact, I think it was Wednesday morning. Okay. Yeah. Safety works good. Grip feels good. Put this over here with the spare stuff, and then I'm going to go ahead and slide this back on. Now we're ready to go. Okay. We've got that changed out. I'm going to go ahead and put this safety handle and safety spring. I'll drop it into, I've got a little bag over here. Here we go. I'll drop it in this little bag so that it'll all stay together and hopefully won't get lost. There's a little oil in that bag. And yeah. Okay. Now we've got the handle changed out. So now it's time to change the buffer tubes. First thing I want to do is take the buffer tube off of the American Tactical lower. And to do that, I'm going to use my vise. I've just got this vise anchored to this table with C-clamps. It works really well. And I don't have one of those blocks. So what I have to do is wrap my lower up in a rag, and I just use a white painter's rag. And you don't have to put a whole lot of pressure on it. You just have to get it enough so it won't wiggle around. It should do it right there. And then I get this. This is a Wheeler Delta Series combo tool, AR-15 combo tool. It pretty much will do everything you need to do. I picked this up at Academy Sports, and it works really well. I've used it, and it works very well. Now you always remember, this has got to come off before the buffer tube can come off. So it's got these 3 slots here. You get those in there and get them lined up in those notches, and there we go. And then of course it would turn to the left counterclockwise to loosen. So there you go. Yeah, I didn't think it would take a whole lot to turn it, and it didn't. We can go ahead and take it out of this vise. And as long as you wrap it in the rag and don't put a lot of pressure on it, it don't hurt anything, but really need one of those inserts that you put in here, and then you can crank it down without doing any damage or even possibility of damage to your lower. Couple of things. First of all, this retainer pin that holds the spring here, that holds your buffer tube back, you got to be careful with that because it's spring loaded. Also, if you look right here, you see that little spring right there? You see it? You got to maintain that spring too. That's the spring that pushes a little pin into this pin in order to keep it from just coming completely out. So go ahead and pull this back, maintaining this with your thumb. And then what you want to do is push this in with your thumb, and that allows you to see, okay, it's got to come more. We have it. There we go. Just go ahead and do that so I'll have a good place to hold it. I'm gonna just about have it enough that I get that spring out. It'll stay right there. And then I want to go ahead and rotate my, there we go. And now this spring's here. I want to go ahead and remove it, place it to the side somewhere where you won't lose it. Put it right there. That little piece is going to stay in there. Okay, as you can see, the buffer tube itself, when it screws in, it caps over part of the little retainer pin right there. So once you back it off a couple of rounds, then you push in on the buffer tube, and it allows it to pop up. You can pull it out, dump that spring out. You want to hang on to these things because you'll have to have them back. Now I can take the buffer spring completely out, lay it to the side, and then all I got to do is unscrew this completely out of the American Tactical lower. So there is the American Tactical lower completely disassembled. This is pushed in, so that'll hold that pin in place. If it does, if you do push this all the way back, that little pin could slide out. But I think it's going to stay there okay. So we'll just put this to the side because we're not going to put this buffer back on there right now. And we'll go ahead and unscrew this one. Remember, we got to watch that got the same spring action over here. Add it in. Okay, that one's fine. Rotate just a couple of rounds, and that should get us off of the. Nope, we got just one more round, and then that's got us off of it right there. So we can pull this pin out. Sometimes it's hard to get through with your finger in the way. Gonna leave it right there for right now. Get it on back a little bit further. I don't want to do that because it's liable to drop off in there. It's staying in there pretty good, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just hold pressure right here with my finger, and I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this buffer tube. There we go. Put it to the side. We got our spring still in place, and we've also got our buffer tube retention pin still in place. Everything's good to go. All right, now we got this out. I want to take, I just want to bring this over here. And I want to begin to turn this on here. Okay, it's up against it now. So I can push that down with my finger, make a couple more rounds with it, and there it is right there. That's where it needs to be, right there. So this needs to rotate. This needs to rotate around. Okay, I'm going to take this right back off for just a second. Okay, clear. Alright, that's the pin right there. So that's how it's going to have to, that's how it has to end up. Okay, that's no problem. We'll get it in there. Little spring still there. There we go. Now we were just a little bit off, but now we got it. Now we can screw this back down, maintaining that spring there. Yep, there it goes. Back, it's in place. And we're good to go. Now we can slide our buffer spring here, push it past, and push it past our retainer. And there we go. Now, go ahead and, get our tool and line it up here. Go ahead and put about a half a turn, and we'll check it one more time. Yeah, it's plenty tight enough. Plenty tight enough. All right. Now, we have successfully changed our handle and our buffer tube, and we can go ahead now and put this gentlemen back together. And there we go. And I really am glad to have the slot rings there for the sling. So now I can put this in here and get a screwdriver, twisting it just a little bit, and there we go. All right, there we go. Done deal. We are changed out. We have cool. Okay, now both of them are changed and back to normal. Hopefully better. Like I say, I'm not real sure about the American Tactical lower. I'm just not real sure about it. So anyway, that was my goal today, was to get those things changed out, and got it done. Only thing left is to shoot them now and see how they do. I'm looking forward to shooting this 300 blackout. I've only shot it a few times since I had it, and I love the 5.56. So I know what this thing can do, and I'm excited about it. So anyway, guys, peace out. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Subscribe to that channel, push that like button, and we'll see you on the next. All right. Hey guys, got a board put up here. It's just an old picture board from camp, and I'm just going to shoot at this with my 2 ARs that I just got through renovating. I've got the 300 blackout and the 5.56, and I'm just going to shoot for this area right here and just see how they do. Haven't shot the 300 blackout with that different lower, so anxious to see how it's going to shoot. I am going to shoot the 5.56 first, and then I'll shoot the 300 blackout. All right, let's see how it goes. All right, let's see what we got. Well, that ain't bad. Look like they all grouping real well. This was the 5.56, and this was the 300 blackout. So grouping real good. 300 blackout's a little low. The 5.56 shooting a little low, but that's pretty short range. I'm only shooting like 25 yards, so I probably need to do a little bit of work on the setup of the scopes and get them to where they need to be. The lower function very well, I just fired the 5 shots through it, but it functioned very well. We'll get some more rounds through it as we go and see if we're going to like it or not. So far, so good. Alrighty, just wanted to get some rounds through it, see how it did. Catch you on the next one. Peace, and subscribe to my channel. Talk to you soon.